Hello and welcome to Greg Way Enterprises Week 5. Today we're going to be talking about mental reserves, stacking the deck, and the grind, or what I like to call grit. Let's dig right in. Let's start with mental reserves. Number one with mental reserves is having a foundation for the proper mental reserve. In order to have mental reserves, we have to have the proper rest and the proper diet. If we don't have the proper rest, and if our mind is cloudy, and if we're just in a fog, we're not going to think clearly, we're not going to do as well. Let's get to bed on time, let's stay focused, let's really genuinely get the rest that we need and get up on time so we don't fall back into a sleep state to where we're groggy all day long. And diet's going to really help us. Really watch what you put into your body, even on the weekend and at night. And I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. Let's try to really put really good things into our body so that it's functioning properly, so that we have the proper mindset and we have the proper rest. Mental reserves is also having the ability to endure through difficult situations. Super important. We're going to have so many times in our sales career that we're going to come up against people or different obstacles. And if we're tired and if we're not thinking right and if we're just mumble jumble, we're not going to have the ability to be able to endure through a difficult situation. If we are rested, if we're staying focused, if we're on the right track, if we're in the zone, we're going to be able to endure through those situations. And we're going to know that we've done it in the past so we can do it again. And that's part of being mentally tough. We've got to be mentally tough. Everything I've talked about in the last 4 weeks, your attitude, your energy, your focus, all of the different types of things all come into play. It's like a car. It's a well-oiled machine. If everything is working properly, then you can just zip right through everybody like a bandsaw and just do phenomenal. So, let's get our rest. Let's stay focused. Let's make sure we have the right diet. Let's stay mentally tough. And that's going to give us what we call staying power. We want to have staying power. We want to have the opportunity to be able to have endurance and to be able to really hang tough. Have you ever seen an athlete and they're at the end of a game or end of a race or whatever it may be, and you just wonder how they can continue to go? That's because they have all of these factors in play. They're mentally tough, they're rested, they've gone through their game plan in their mind, they know exactly what they need to do, and they're not going to be distracted. And that's part of staying power. Mental reserves is also, I like to say, a mental focus. If we really want to put it into 2 words, it's the ability to have mental focus. And that means not letting anything get in our way, not let anything distract us, being able to absolutely, unequivocally stay focused, regardless of what's going on around you. Just stay focused, have mental focus, and the ability to be able to draw upon past experiences. I do this all the time. When I'm in a situation, let's say I'm with a client and the client has their phone ring or something happen to where, or an employee comes in, so they're distracted for a minute. I go through in my mind everything I've already told them about, everything that I want to say to them, and anything that I can say better. I review in my mind if there's anything that I forgot, if there's anything that could have been reiterated and done on a higher level. And so whenever you have an opportunity during a presentation where your client gets a little distracted, re-review in your mind, be thinking every single thing. I've done this and this and this and this and this. And draw on past clients and past experiences and be able to say, you know what, I know with this guy, this is what I did. And with this situation, I did this. And go through every step in your mind. So let's review them. Let's have the foundation for the mental reserves is going to be the proper rest and diet. You've got to be able to endure through difficult situations. Super important. Be mentally tough. Stay focused. Be mentally tough. Don't let anybody or anything throw you off your game. You're going to have clients that try to throw you off your game. They're going to be testing you. Stay focused and have that staying power. Have those mental reserves, which means, once again, staying focused on what you're doing and have the ability to draw on those past experiences. So if you can go in there with the right attitude, and if you can go in there knowing what you want to accomplish and knowing what your agenda is, and having all of these things in order, you're going to do fantastic. Let's go through number 2, stacking the deck. That's my terminology. I like to call it stacking the deck. Every weekend, I will spend many, many hours doing my research on clients of who I'm going to be calling upon. I'll research every single thing under the sun on them. I'll research categories. If I'm going to be in a meeting with different people from different agencies, city, county, state, government, medical, school district, high tech, or if I want endorsements, or if I want things of that nature to where I'm dealing with clients that need to involve different types and categories of people, I'll research these different types of individuals. And if I'm calling upon an auto dealership or an auto collision repair or a paint or flooring or a jewelry or whatever it may be, I go through the list and I research and then I organize my thoughts, and I do that by writing everything down. I document everything. I'll have a list based upon what city, what area, even south, north, east, and west. I will systematically dissect every single category, the people that I'm going in to see. I will figure out what time of day they're going to be there. If it's a restaurant, obviously you're not going to go in the middle of the day and upset them. If it's a jewelry store, you know they open at 10. Do your homework and then prioritize those leads based upon potential. And I'm going to say that again, and you may say, what does that have to do with it? It's everything to do with it. Prioritize them based upon potential on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. You don't want to call on somebody selling Christmas trees in July, do you? You don't want to call on a restaurant in the middle of their lunch break. You don't want to call upon an individual that's selling cars at 8 o'clock in the morning when they're not there. Really do your homework. Know when the client's going to be there. Know when the best time to access those clients are going to be. And be able to geographically route them and put them in an area so that you're not wasting your time and you're not going back and forth. I'll put 20 or 30 clients within 2 or 3 miles of each other. And I will go down starting at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll know the exact client. I'm going to see at the exact time, and I'm going to know if something goes wrong. Geographically, I'm right there where I can go right back and I can see somebody else. It's called cluster selling. Don't chase all over. Make sure that your ducks in a row. Make sure that you've got the right client at the right time on the right day, and you have it prepared. And I like to do what I call a confidence builder. Even though I've been going out for 36 years and seeing clientele, even though I may know them or know them really well, or some clients not as well, I always will go after those that I know absolutely unequivocally are my highest odds of success at the beginning of the day. You want to get the momentum going. So you want to arrive in the right mental state of mind. You want to be completely focused on what you're doing. You want to have all of your ducks in a row and be able to draw on past experiences, and then go in there when you've done your homework and your research and you've routed them out and you know exactly how to prioritize them. And so then you have a game plan, and you're going to have a lot more confidence in yourself and in what you're doing if you have a game plan. It's vital. You can't just wake up on a Monday morning and go, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go sell. It's not how it works. I want you to take time on the weekend to think about who you're going to see, who you're going to talk to, how you're going to approach them. And if you're in a business where they're going to be coming to you, think about past experiences of how you've dealt with people, what you've said, what you've done, what has worked, what hasn't worked. Get your rest. Be prepared. I say it once again, be prepared and do your homework. Go everything that you can do to help yourself before the person gets there, do it. Do it. We talked about product knowledge last week. It's homework. Do your homework. Be prepared. Know what you're dealing with. Have a timeline. And I hope you go back through the video on week 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And for me, look, I'm here taking my time to help you. And even if I'm only able to help one person, one individual out there, you could be living in Alabama and Ohio and Texas and California, it doesn't matter. It's worth it. You're worth it to me. If I'm able to find one individual that can glean and take from this training something that's going to help you, it's worth it for me. Because I care about you. I care about you individually. It's extremely important that you know that. It doesn't matter what your situation is. That being said, let's go into the third part of this series today called The Grind. I probably should have called it Grit, because in order to make it through the grind, you've got to have grit, you've got to have fight, you've got to have it in your gut, you've got to be willing to dig your heels in like we've talked about the last couple weeks. It's a mindset, isn't it? It's a mindset. It's something that nobody can tell you otherwise. It's something that you believe in your gut of what you're doing, and no matter what you've got to do, you're going to do it, and you're not going to come home until it's done. It's having the courage to persist regardless of the obstacles. It's strength of character. It's having passion. It's believing in what you do. And it's believing in yourself. And the only way you guys can really do that is to be able to have your personal life in order, have your mind in order, be organized in what you're doing, understand your client, understand your client's needs, love your client. I'm serious. Love your client. Care about their needs. It's a transference of feeling, and they're going to know that. Have the ability to have perseverance regardless of your setbacks. It doesn't matter in life what the setback's been. Learn how to get around it. Learn how to work through the obstacles. Learn how to work through those setbacks. You've got to be able to do that. If you want to beat the others, if you want to be the top salesperson, be mentally strong. Work through those setbacks. Have ability to conquer your obstacles. Think about what you've done in your whole life. Think about where you're at right now. Think about the good things. Think about the bad things. Let those things help you. Don't let them define who you are. Don't. Let them help you. Let them help you be the very, very best person you can be. And be resilient. Get back up. If you fall down, you get back up. You get knocked down, you get back up. If you've been sick, you get well and you get back up. If your car's not running right, then you walk. If somebody tells you no, you keep going till somebody tells you yes. And you don't focus on the people that told you no. You focus on the people that told you yes. Look, you might have 9 people that are just not nice people. But I promise you, you're going to run into that one individual that's going to give you that opportunity to sell, that's going to give you that opportunity that they're going to listen to you. And the more they listen to you, and the harder you try, and the longer you stay at it, and the longer you continue to grind and have that grit, the better you're going to get, because you're going to be able to draw off your obstacles. You're going to be able to draw off the failures. You're going to be able to draw off the no's. And you're going to be able to draw off the people that tell you yes. If I have told you anything in the past 5 weeks, this is the most important thing I've said so far, and I want you to listen to me. Grit supersedes talent and intellect. I'm going to say it again. Grit supersedes talent and intellect. Sure, talent helps. Sure, being smart helps. But you know what? I ran into a lot of people that aren't that smart, and they've been phenomenal salespeople. I've helped put people in my business that didn't even know how to read, didn't even know how to write. They made $100,000 a year. They didn't have a clue. They were driving garbage trucks. They were mowing lawns. They were home giving up on themselves. Not at all. You know why they were successful? Because they had the desire, they had the grit. They listened to what I had to say to them. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're not smart enough to do it. You can learn. You can learn. Don't let anyone ever tell you don't have enough talent. We weren't born with the talent. We weren't born with the smarts to know how to sell something. That's just not true. It's just not true. I promise you, if you want it, you can get it. You can have it. You've got to have grit. You've got to have fight. You've got to have determination. My whole life, I've had to work 10 times harder than anyone else to get what I've gotten. But guess what? I've got it all, and then some. You know why? Wasn't that I was the smartest. It wasn't that I was the most talented. It was because I was willing to fight for what I believed in. I had grit. I want you guys to go in there with your mental reserves, with the proper rest, with the right focus. Know your clientele, know your product, stay organized, be able to grind, be able to work. You be able to set your goals and you write them down and you prioritize and you route everything out. And in your mind you say, I will not quit. I will not give up. I absolutely will not be beat. Because this guy might have a college education and this guy might be smarter. But have you ever noticed that sometimes people that are really smart don't have any common sense? Yeah. Very rare to find somebody with intellect and common sense. Well, guess what's going to get you through? Guess where grit comes from? Common sense. Grit comes from common sense. It comes from your core. It comes from your gut. Share these videos with your friends. If you need to talk to me, you can email me at gregwayenterprises@gmail.com. Share the website, gregwayenterprises.com. We've gone to a lot of effort to be able to lay this out so that you folks can go back and re-review the different videos. Share them on social media. Know that I care about you. I care about you. And it doesn't matter to me if I sit here for the next 6 months and I'm working and working and working trying to share what I've learned. If I'm only able to help one of you, it's worth it to me. You're worth it to me. You go in there, you have grit, you understand that product, and make it happen this next week. We love you guys. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and we'll talk to you next week. Remember that a video will be posted every Monday by 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Have a great week. God bless. Goodbye.